spirits in the material world. At the heart, and this is the most important thing to garner from any video on it, it's a basic reggae thing. Okay, it's a basic, like, man in a suitcase, like mirror in the bathroom. I mean, like a ska, like dun 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 I'd invite you back to my place because it holds my suitcase. What happens there? Okay, that's the upbeat. That's where, like, the upbeat's going on, but you're playing a beat below it. This is man in a suitcase. Well, spirits in the material world is the same thing. It's the same upbeat thing. If you listen to Sting's right here on YouTube, look for Sting's demos for Spirits in the Material World. He demoed pretty much all those songs they did on Ghost in the Machine. And they kept pretty much all the stuff he recorded for the demos, kept a lot of that on the final product, just sort of threw Andy Summers' guitar and Stewart Copeland's drums over that and sort of released it. There's a lot of that went out with Ghost in the Machine, probably even Synchronicity. That's true with The Who, too. If you listen to Who's Next, a lot of what you hear on Who's Next and other Who albums, Pete Townsend wrote all that stuff. So they bring his demos that he made, high-quality demos in the studio, overdub Keith Moon's drums on it, bass. That happened a lot, okay? But with Spirits in the Material World, or with Ghost in the Machine, that, I think, really led to a lot of friction with the Police, because that was, I think, the first time with the Police that happened. Like, Sting came, his demos were, like, done, and they were all kind of like, you know. Anyway, but my point is about the demos. Listen to Sting's 1981 demo for Spirits in the Material World, and it's really clear that it's okay, but there's a couple things that throw us off, even in the demo or live, but especially in the studio recording. By the nature of the song, most of the time, Copeland isn't playing the snare on the 2 and the 4. He's playing the bass drum. It's inverted. So instead of it's and that is at the points in the song he's hitting the snare, the points in the song he's hitting the bass drum in those particular parts. It's just the 2 and the 4. Okay, so if he was playing the snare in the regular verse, there's no political solution. It would be 2, 4, except he's hitting the bass drum. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Like for a long time, like a lot of us diehard Police people coming up, because of the nature of the way the song started, it almost sounded like, in a weird way to me, it would almost make that last note to me that he'd hit sound like the 4, and then somehow I'd end up twisting it in my head to where that bass drum every time sounded like it was on the and of 2 and the and of 4. And I know there's a ton of people that can relate to that, because I know there was a fella, I made a video, a Spirits in the Material World drum lesson. I put it on, I have another channel, Terry Keating Drums, I think. I'd forgotten about it. I just love the Bonzolium channel so much. But I put the video there, and this person, you know, the poor guy, he's like, wait, man, he was like freaking out. He's like, it's on the and of 4, it's on the and of 2. Well, it's not. But I almost feel bad telling him that, because in a weird way, growing up, when the bass drum seemed like it was on the and of 2 or in the and of 4, the song seemed so much cooler. But here's the kicker. Even now, if I'm listening to it, sometimes it'll sound like the bass drum's on the and of 2 or the and of 4, because it still has that magic mojo. And I'll tell you why. I think I should do this, but I think Sting seated, like literally seated, like sat, like placed his vocals in the verse at a slightly off. So it's on the demos and live, it's like this. There's a critical solution. Like it's more like it seems like. But the way the vocals come across in the studio recording, really helps sort of mask like what the hell's going on. Again, the nature of the bass drum on the 2 and 4 becomes very apparent when you hear the Police play Spirits in the Material World live, or you hear Sting's demos. But for some reason, the recording itself, the studio recording, 1981, it's a classic. It's a mind screw. It really is, and it's beautiful. It's beautifully done, whether it's intentional or not. Do you know what I mean? So, all right. So here, so the point is that. So in the verse, there's no political salute. Here it's just that. It's 2 and 4. That bass drum's hitting it as if it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and Copeland's hitting the hi at. So, remember, so that 2 and 4 most of the time in the song is the bass drum, just for the volume of strikes, meaning how many times that 2 and 4 gets accented is on the bass drum in the song, because it's usually verses, right? Except when we get to Spirits in the Material World, he's hitting it on the snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So every time that bass drum's getting hit in the verses, or the snare drum's getting hit in the choruses, it's always on 2 and 4. Apart from like little lead-ins or, or whatever he might do as the song goes on later. Or one of my favorites is this. Later in the song, it's so beautiful. But anyway, so that's really it in the whole song. Again, if you really want to get the whole mojo and understand the Spirits in the Material World, if you're having a problem playing it, just listen to a lot of, go right now on YouTube or wherever and listen to a lot of Spirits in the Material World live. Or again, Sting's demo for Spirits in the Material World. It'll become instantly clear. It's like, oh, that's really what it is. It's a no-brainer. But for whatever reason, that studio recording is just so beautifully deceiving and opaque and bizarro. It is. And remember, any studio recording any band makes, a recording of something, is its own piece of art. Apart from when you write the melody down and the words, it's the recording itself is a piece of art. Just like if an artist makes the Mona Lisa, let's say he did 10 of them, right? Who did that? Was it Da Vinci? Let's say there's 100 Mona Lisas. Let's say he practiced. Finally, the last one's the Mona Lisa. Well, each one of those is its own. Even though it's a picture of a person sitting there, right? They're not just like, even with the song, they're not sitting there just want to get a photograph of it. It's a particular photograph of it, right? Part of the art is in the way it's imaged. Da Vinci didn't paint Mona Lisa like Norman Rockwell would have, or totally, like there's some art to it, some interpretation, right? Actually, the Mona Lisa might not be that good of an example. But you know what I'm saying? So, the studio recording, if you have a problem with Spirits in the Material World, after you consult this video, you will realize that just consult a live version of Spirits in the Material World or the Sting demo. Anyway, so here we are. So the song. Remember, those bass drums 2 and 4. Okay, we get to the turnaround. Remember, those are on 2 and 4. Okay, the intro. Now, in the intro, Copeland hits, I think he's hitting his 10-inch Tama Imperial Star rack tom. It doesn't sound like an octoband. I think it's just his 10-inch. He's going, okay? And then the last drum he hits is either the snare or another tom. I think it's the snare. Whatever it is, Copeland used to use a thing. He used to trigger stuff. He was not a lot. Triggering's very common now. In those days, it wasn't. Copeland used to love a thing called the clap trap. The clap trap was a device that would imitate clapping, like boom, boom. Like you'd have a lot of people spread out clapping, like boom, boom, or tighter. Like if no one was really playing ahead of the beat, or no one was really playing behind the beat. They all played like right on top of the beat. Boom, boom. Anyway, that sound, they'd probably treat a little somehow with some effects. And there'd be a trigger on a snare drum that would activate that. So you wouldn't just hear the real tightly pitched of the snare. Underneath that, there'd be a clap trap sound that would be triggered that would shore up the snare sound, okay? Now, on the intro of Spirits, he's probably hitting the snare, but it doesn't really sound exactly like the snare sound to me, right off the bat, if I think about it, the snare sound that goes on through the whole song, although it probably is. Maybe he's not hitting it that hard. Okay, probably is. But I really hear the sound of the claptrap on that last note. So all the notes on the intro are played on one drum. Okay? And then the last one is either on the snare with the claptrap or another tom with the claptrap or some surface with the claptrap. Look up the claptrap. Type in Stewart Copeland claptrap. You'll see all kinds of stuff. Go on YouTube, where Copeland, when they're recording Ghost in the Machine, they brought in Jules Holland. He came in, he was from Squeeze, and he interviewed them all individually. Andy Summers, Sting, you'll find that all on YouTube. It's really interesting. And Stewart Copeland's sitting behind his drums, and he's talking to Jules Holland. He's explaining reggae, talks about the claptrap, and you can see his Blue Label 602 crash is hanging right around him. 1981, June. Okay? Anyway, back to the song at hand, the intro fill. That fill starts on, it's a lead-in. It starts on so 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it would be the 3 of that lead-in. 1, 2. 1, 2. Because it always makes it almost, you almost hear it like it's a pickup. Like you hear so many times today, can't say like that. But this one, I should make a video for that too. But I don't want to get distracted by that. The lead-in for Spirits in the Material World starts on the 3. So think of this. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what I'm going to do there's more notes than that. The distance between the 3 and then the and of the 3 has 2 notes in it. It's like a triplet. It's like 3 and 4 and. Okay? Or you'd say 3 triplet and 4 and. So it'll be like 3 dot 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 ba. Okay? So okay, so that's over 3 and 4 and with 2 notes squeezed between the 3 and it's and. 3 and 4 and. Remember, the and is the last note by itself and another drum, probably the snare with claptrap. But 3 and 4 and. But 3 and 4 and. However you want to stick it. Whatever it is. And you can double check that by putting on Spirits in the Material World, and with the tool in the lower right hand corner, slow the intro down, you'll clearly hear that. But it starts on the 3. So that's the song. It's a masterpiece. Ghost in the Machine is a masterpiece. Again, Stewart Copeland, I pleaded with other videos, dear Stewart Copeland, you could make videos, a drum lesson on each, not just Police song, any Oysterhead, whatever you want to do, but the Police would be obviously the most, well, important to us Police heads. Every song, man, a lesson. Do a drum cover. This is how I'd play it today. This is what I wanted to play. Another one, man, you could have 1,000 videos you could crank out. Again, Tom and Peisty would sponsor it. I hope this was helpful. More videos on the way. The George Flutist, Terry Keating, Zeppelin channel coming right up. We're just ironing out some kinks. Have a good weekend. Thank you for subscribing. If you want a t-shirt, a Bonzolium t-shirt, it's bonzolium@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email. I really appreciate everybody who subscribed and all my fans who like the videos. Thank you.